The true story of the haunting of the Cello Drive home. The Cello Drive home, located in the upscale Los Angeles neighborhood of Benedict Canyon, was being rented by Sharon Tate and her husband, director Roman Polanski, at the time of the Manson murders. The couple had only been living in the house for a few months when the killings took place, and the home quickly became associated with the tragic events of that summer. In the years since the murders, the Cello Drive home has gained a reputation as one of the most haunted places in Los Angeles. Visitors to the property have reported strange sounds, eerie apparitions, and a general feeling of unease and foreboding. Some believe that the ghosts of the Manson victims continue to haunt the property, while others suggest that the negative energy left behind by the killings has imbued the house with a malevolent presence. Despite its reputation as a haunted house, the Cello Drive home has remained a popular destination for curious tourists and fans of true crime. However, the property itself has undergone several changes in the years since the Manson murders. Following the killings, the house was purchased by businessman Rudy Altobelli, who leased it to a number of high-profile tenants over the years. The house was extensively renovated and even rebuilt in the 1990s, with the original structure being demolished and replaced with a new, larger mansion. Today, the property at 1500 Cello Drive remains a symbol of the dark events that took place there in the summer of 1969. While the haunted reputation of the house may be a matter of debate, the legacy of the Manson murders continues to haunt the American psyche, reminding us of the dangers of extremism and the importance of remaining vigilant against the forces of hate and manipulation. Despite the changes made to the property over the years, the Cello Drive home remains a source of fascination and curiosity for many people. It has been the subject of numerous books, documentaries, and movies, with filmmakers and writers using the house as a backdrop to explore the complex legacy of the Manson murders. For some, the haunted reputation of the Cello Drive home is simply a product of the house's association with one of the most notorious crimes in American history. They argue that the eerie feelings and strange sounds reported by visitors to the property are simply the result of a collective imagination, fueled by the sensationalism surrounding the Manson case. Others, however, believe that there is something genuinely supernatural about the house, and that the spirits of the Manson victims continue to linger on the property. There are numerous stories of strange occurrences at the house, including unexplained noises, objects moving on their own, and sightings of ghostly apparitions. One of the most famous ghost stories associated with the Cello Drive home involves a mysterious figure seen walking through the property's gardens. According to some accounts, this figure is the ghost of Sharon Tate herself, who is said to have been seen walking through the gardens in a white dress, her hair blowing in the wind. While the haunted reputation of the Cello Drive home may be a matter of debate, there is no denying the impact that the Manson murders have had on American culture. The case has become a symbol of the darker side of human nature, and a warning about the dangers of extremism and cults. For those who are curious about the haunted history of the Cello Drive home, it remains a popular destination for ghost hunters, paranormal investigators, and true crime enthusiasts. Whether or not there is anything supernatural about the property, it remains a powerful symbol of a tragic moment in American history, and a reminder of the importance of never forgetting the victims of senseless violence. Despite the continued interest in the Cello Drive home and the Manson murders, the property itself has remained relatively quiet in recent years. The current owners of the property have largely kept it closed to the public, and there have been few reported sightings of ghostly apparitions or strange occurrences on the property. Nonetheless, the legacy of the Manson murders and the haunted reputation of the Cello Drive home continue to captivate the public imagination. The case has inspired countless books, movies, and TV shows, and the story of the Manson family remains one of the most fascinating and disturbing tales in American history. At its heart, the Manson story is a cautionary tale about the power of charisma and the dangers of blind obedience. Manson's ability to manipulate and control his followers, and his willingness to commit unspeakable acts of violence in the name of his twisted vision, serve as a reminder of the need to remain vigilant against the forces of hate and extremism. While the Cello Drive home may be a symbol of the tragedy and horror of the Manson murders, it is also a reminder of the resilience and strength of the human spirit. Despite the darkness and pain associated with the property, it continues to stand as a testament to the enduring power of hope. Over 80 million years ago, the world looked very different. The ancient supercontinent of Gondwana was still intact, and a vast landmass, now known as Zealandia, was part of its southern edge. Zealandia was home to lush forests, diverse wildlife, and mountain ranges that rivaled the Himalayas. But over time, the tectonic plates that make up the Earth's crust began to shift and move, slowly but surely separating the landmasses that once made up Gondwana. Zealandia began to break away from Australia, and the deep waters of the Pacific Ocean slowly started to engulf the landmass. As the separation continued, the underwater plateau that now makes up Zealandia began to sink, with only the highest peaks of its mountain ranges remaining above water. This process continued for millions of years until finally, the submerged landmass was nearly entirely hidden from view, with only a few scattered islands visible above the waves. But despite its hidden nature, Zealandia remained an object of fascination for scientists and explorers. In the early 20th century, researchers began to suspect the existence of a large underwater continent in the southern Pacific Ocean. This suspicion was confirmed in the late 1990s when a team of scientists set out to map the seafloor around New Zealand and discovered the submerged landmass that is now known as Zealandia. Since then, scientists have continued to study Zealandia, piecing together its geological history and unraveling the mysteries of its submerged landscape. They have discovered that Zealandia is not just a random collection of islands but rather a vast, submerged continent, stretching over 5 million square kilometers. Despite being submerged, Zealandia remains a land of wonders. Its hidden peaks and valleys are home to a rich diversity of marine life, including some species that are found nowhere else on Earth. Scientists have also discovered evidence of a complex system of tectonic activity beneath the seafloor, with earthquakes and volcanic eruptions continuing to shape the landscape of Zealandia to this day. But perhaps the most exciting aspect of Zealandia is the possibility that it may hold the key to unlocking some of the mysteries of our planet's geological past. By studying the rocks and fossils that make up the submerged continent, scientists hope to uncover new insights into the history of Earth's continents and how they have evolved over time. As the story of Zealandia continues to unfold, scientists and explorers alike are excited by the possibilities that this vast and hidden continent holds. Whether it is the study of ancient geological processes or the discovery of new species of marine life, Zealandia is a land of endless wonder and endless possibility, waiting to be explored and uncovered by those who are brave enough to venture into its hidden depths. While scientists have made significant progress in uncovering the geological history of Zealandia, much of the continent's mysteries remain unsolved. One of the most perplexing questions is how Zealandia managed to remain hidden for so long. Some scientists speculate that the underwater continent was once connected to other landmasses, which have since disappeared beneath the waves. Others suggest that Zealandia was always a submerged landmass, and that its deep waters and isolated location made it difficult for humans to discover. Regardless of its mysterious origins, Zealandia continues to fascinate scientists and explorers around the world. In recent years, a number of expeditions have set out to map the seafloor around the continent and study its geological features. One of the most notable of these expeditions was a joint effort by scientists from New Zealand and the United States, which set out to drill into the seafloor beneath Zealandia. The team extracted samples of rock and sediment from beneath the ocean floor, providing new insights into the geological history of the continent. Other expeditions have focused on studying the marine life that inhabits the waters around Zealandia. Scientists have discovered a vast array of species, from colorful coral reefs to massive schools of fish and even deep-sea creatures that have never been seen before. While Zealandia may be a hidden continent, it is a land of great potential and scientific discovery. As our understanding of the continent continues to grow, it is likely that we will uncover new insights into the geological processes that have shaped our planet, as well as new species and ecosystems that are unique to this hidden corner of the world. And so, the story of Zealandia continues to unfold, a tale of scientific discovery and exploration that is still being written to this day. With each new discovery and each new expedition, we are reminded of the vast and wondrous mysteries that lie beneath the waves, waiting to be uncovered by those who are brave enough to venture into the unknown. One of the most exciting prospects for the exploration of Zealandia is the possibility of discovering new resources that could prove useful for humanity. The continental shelf around Zealandia is known to contain vast reserves of oil and gas, as well as valuable minerals such as gold, silver, and copper. However, the challenge of extracting these resources from the deep waters around Zealandia is immense, and any exploration and exploitation must be carried out with care and consideration for the delicate marine ecosystems that call the continent home. Scientists and policymakers are working together to develop sustainable approaches to resource exploration in the waters around Zealandia, with the goal of balancing economic development with environmental protection. This challenge presents an opportunity for scientists and policymakers to work together to develop new technologies and strategies that can help us to explore and understand the hidden depths of the ocean. At the same time, the exploration of Zealandia is also helping to deepen our understanding of the impacts of climate change on our planet. The ocean currents and atmospheric systems that surround Zealandia play a crucial role in regulating global temperatures and weather patterns, and changes to these systems could have far-reaching consequences for the planet as a whole. By studying the geological and ecological processes at work in and around Zealandia, scientists hope to gain new insights into the mechanisms of climate change and develop strategies for mitigating its impacts on our planet. In many ways, the story of Zealandia is still being written, with each new discovery and exploration bringing new insights and new challenges. Yet even as we continue to unravel the mysteries of this hidden continent, we are reminded of the incredible beauty and complexity of our planet, and the importance of working together to protect and preserve its wonders for generations to come.
Patty, also known as Patricia Krieger, was a 65-year-old woman who went hiking with her boyfriend, Larry Presley, her dog, and 5 other individuals who were friends and family of Larry's. They were in the Sauk Mountain area of Washington state on October 2, 2010, to scatter Larry's parents' ashes at the top of the trail. While hiking back down, Patty became separated from the group and started walking down the wrong trail. Although the group called out to her, she did not respond and continued walking. The group did not follow her, assuming they would meet back up at the bottom of the trail. When the group reached the end of the hike, they realized that Patty had not yet arrived. They waited for an unknown period of time before deciding to head off. Some of the hikers went to a nearby gas station, while others went shopping. The group estimated that Patty was left alone for around 4 hours. When they returned to the park and realized that Patty had still not shown up, they immediately notified the authorities. Unfortunately, despite extensive search efforts by the authorities and volunteers, Patty was never found. Her disappearance remains a mystery. The group Patty was hiking with claimed to be her family, which initially left her actual family unaware of her disappearance. It wasn't until a week later, when her employer contacted her son because she hadn't shown up for work, that they learned Patty was missing. Her dog, Bear, was found 3 weeks later, several miles from where she was last seen. Although malnourished, the dog was alive, indicating that it had been on the mountain since Patty had gone missing. Despite being physically fit, Patty was not an experienced hiker and was not dressed appropriately for the cold weather. When she was reported missing, law enforcement brought in scent dogs to track her movements. The dogs led investigators down the trail to the parking lot, suggesting that something might have happened to her once she had returned there. However, after finding Bear, the investigators re-evaluated this theory. According to Patty's friends and family, Larry Presley was found with her keys and driver's license after she vanished. One of his friends was also in possession of her mobile phone. Additionally, when Patty's family went to her house, they found a suitcase filled with jewelry in the back of a truck. When they finally entered the home, which required obtaining a court order because Larry was still living there with his friends, they discovered that it had been completely ransacked and trashed. Patty's safe had been rifled through, and there was garbage all over the floor. Her safety deposit box had also been emptied. In addition to the other suspicious circumstances surrounding Patty's disappearance, Larry and his friends were reportedly seen driving her vehicles after she went missing. The circumstances surrounding how Larry and Patty met were also strange. Larry had a lengthy criminal record, and upon his release from prison, he appeared at Patty's doorstep claiming to be a friend of her late husband, Jason Graham. Larry told Patty that Jason had asked him to take care of her if anything happened to him. Jason was a real estate agent, and it's unclear how he and Larry could have become acquainted. Patty's family believes that Larry may have read Jason's obituary in the newspaper and targeted Patty for personal gain. At the time Larry and Patty met, she was doing quite well for herself, owning her own home and several vehicles. Shortly after Larry moved in with her, several of his friends also moved in. Patty's friends and family reported that their relationship was rocky, and several red flags appeared throughout their time together. For example, she once found drugs hidden behind a fake wall in her shed. She also discovered a gun in the saddlebag of Larry's motorcycle and found out that he was having affairs with other women. According to Patty's family, they believed she was too afraid to enter a relationship with Larry, who reportedly refused to help search for his missing partner after she vanished. Despite a search effort that included the use of thermal cameras and a helicopter, no sign of Patty was ever found. Her family suspects Larry may have played a role in her disappearance. In 2013, Larry was arrested and charged with federal weapons violations, and he received a 10-year prison sentence. However, he was released in 2018. Despite this, there has been no significant progress in the investigation into Patty's disappearance, which remains unsolved. The last sighting of Patty was in the Sauk Mountain area of Washington State on October 2, 2010, wearing a long-sleeve white top under a blue short-sleeve top, a black sweatshirt, and blue jeans. The disappearance of Patty Haskell in 2010 remains a mystery to this day, despite extensive search efforts and ongoing investigation. Her family suspects foul play, particularly involving her boyfriend at the time, Larry Presley, who had a criminal history and a suspicious relationship with Patty. Despite his refusal to help search for Patty and numerous red flags in their relationship, Larry was not charged in connection to her disappearance. Instead, he was later arrested on unrelated federal weapons charges and served time behind bars. Patty's family continues to hold out hope for answers, and her case serves as a reminder of the importance of staying vigilant and cautious in relationships, particularly with those who may have questionable pasts.
A black hole is a celestial object with a gravitational pull so strong that it can trap anything, including light, that comes within its event horizon. The study of black holes is a fascinating and complex topic that has captured the imagination of scientists and the public alike. In this article, we will explain the physics behind how a black hole works. Gravity and mass. At the heart of every black hole is a point of infinite density called a singularity. This singularity is surrounded by an event horizon, which is the point beyond which nothing, not even light, can escape the black hole's gravitational pull. The size of the event horizon is directly related to the mass of the black hole. The more massive the black hole, the larger the event horizon. The gravitational pull of a black hole is so strong that it warps the fabric of spacetime, causing time and space to become distorted. The closer an object gets to the black hole, the more intense the gravitational pull becomes. This means that anything that comes within the event horizon will be pulled towards the singularity and eventually be crushed by its immense gravitational forces. Formation of black holes. Black holes can be formed in a number of ways. The most common way is through the collapse of a massive star. When a massive star exhausts its fuel, it can no longer generate enough energy to counteract the force of gravity. The star's core collapses under its own weight, causing it to become extremely dense and hot. If the core is massive enough, it will continue to collapse until it becomes a singularity, surrounded by an event horizon. Another way that black holes can be formed is through the collision of two neutron stars. Neutron stars are incredibly dense remnants of supernova explosions, and when two of them collide, they can create a black hole. Black holes can also be formed through the collision of two black holes, which can merge to form a larger black hole. Properties of black holes. Black holes are characterized by three properties: mass, spin, and electric charge. The mass of a black hole is its most important property, as it determines the size of the event horizon and the strength of its gravitational pull. The spin of a black hole is a measure of its rotation, which is caused by the angular momentum of the matter that formed it. The electric charge of a black hole is a measure of its net electrical charge, which can be positive, negative, or zero. Types of black holes. There are three types of black holes: stellar black holes, intermediate black holes, and supermassive black holes. Stellar black holes are the most common type of black hole and are formed from the collapse of a single massive star. They have a mass of between 3 and 20 times that of the Sun and are thought to be scattered throughout our galaxy. Intermediate black holes are a relatively new discovery and have a mass of between 100 and 100,000 times that of the Sun. They are thought to be the missing link between stellar black holes and supermassive black holes. Supermassive black holes are the most massive type of black hole and are found at the center of most galaxies, including our own Milky Way. They have a mass of millions or even billions of times that of the Sun and are thought to be formed by the merging of multiple intermediate black holes. Hawking radiation. One of the most fascinating properties of black holes is Hawking radiation, which was first proposed by the physicist Stephen Hawking in the 1970s. Hawking radiation is a theoretical form of radiation that is emitted by a black hole due to quantum effects near the event horizon. According to quantum mechanics, particles can be created out of empty space and then annihilate each other, producing energy. When this happens near the event horizon of a black hole, one particle can be pulled into the black hole while the other escapes as radiation. This radiation carries energy away from the black hole, causing it to slowly lose mass over time. The process of Hawking radiation is incredibly slow for most black holes, as the amount of radiation emitted is proportional to the surface area of the event horizon, which is much smaller than the size of the black hole itself. However, for small black holes, the radiation can be significant, and over time, it can cause the black hole to evaporate completely. The future of black hole research. The study of black holes is a fascinating and rapidly evolving field of astrophysics. With the development of new technologies, such as the Event Horizon Telescope, which is capable of directly observing the event horizon of a black hole, scientists are gaining a better understanding of the properties and behavior of these enigmatic objects. There is still much to learn about black holes, including the nature of the singularity at their center, the mechanisms behind their powerful jets of material, and the role they play in the evolution of galaxies. However, with the continued efforts of scientists around the world, we are sure to uncover more about these mysterious and awe-inspiring objects in the universe. One of the most exciting areas of research in black holes is the study of gravitational waves. Gravitational waves are ripples in spacetime that are created by the acceleration of massive objects, such as the collision of two black holes. In 2015, the Laser Interferometer Gravitational Wave Observatory, LIGO, detected the first ever gravitational waves, which were caused by the merger of two black holes. Since then, LIGO and other gravitational wave observatories around the world have detected numerous gravitational wave events, providing new insights into the behavior of black holes and other massive objects in the universe. Another area of research is the study of black hole thermodynamics. Although black holes are often thought of as cold, dark objects, they are actually capable of emitting radiation and have a temperature. This is due to the Hawking radiation discussed earlier, which causes black holes to slowly lose mass and energy over time. In recent years, scientists have discovered connections between the properties of black holes and the laws of thermodynamics, which govern the behavior of heat and energy in the universe. This has led to new insights into the nature of black holes and their relationship to other physical phenomena. Conclusion. In conclusion, black holes are some of the most fascinating and mysterious objects in the universe. They are formed by the collapse of massive stars or the collision of neutron stars or black holes, and are characterized by their mass, spin, and electric charge. The strong gravitational pull of black holes warps the fabric of spacetime, causing time and space to become distorted. Nothing, not even light, can escape their event horizon, which is the point of no return for objects entering a black hole. Despite their mysterious nature, scientists are making progress in understanding black holes through the study of gravitational waves, black hole thermodynamics, and other areas of research. With continued advances in technology and a deeper understanding of the laws of physics, We are sure to uncover more about these enigmatic objects in the years to come.
Now the true story of the lost continent of Atlantis. The story of Atlantis is one of the most enduring mysteries of human history. According to legend, it was a powerful and prosperous civilization that existed thousands of years ago before it disappeared suddenly, leaving behind only myths and legends. The origins of the Atlantis story can be traced back to the ancient Greek philosopher Plato, who first mentioned the city in his dialogues Timaeus and Critias. In these works, Plato describes Atlantis as a wealthy island nation located beyond the Pillars of Hercules, which we now know as the Strait of Gibraltar. According to Plato, Atlantis was founded by the god Poseidon, who fell in love with a mortal woman and created the island as a home for her. He surrounded the island with concentric rings of water and land, and built a magnificent palace at its center. Over time, the people of Atlantis grew rich and powerful, thanks in part to their control of valuable resources like gold and silver. However, the Atlanteans eventually became greedy and corrupt, and their society began to decay. They became warlike and aggressive, and their armies conquered many of the neighboring lands. Eventually, their arrogance brought about their downfall, and the gods punished them by sending earthquakes and floods that sank the island beneath the sea. Despite the enduring popularity of the Atlantis story, there is little concrete evidence to suggest that such a civilization ever existed. While many theories have been proposed over the years, none have been proven conclusively. Some scholars have suggested that the Atlantis story was inspired by real-world events, such as the volcanic eruption that destroyed the island of Thera in the Aegean Sea around 1600 BC. Others have suggested that it was simply a myth created by Plato to illustrate a moral lesson. In recent years, some researchers have even proposed that Atlantis may have been located in the Caribbean or the Mediterranean, and that its destruction may have been caused by a tsunami or other natural disaster. However, these theories remain controversial and unproven. Despite the lack of concrete evidence, the story of Atlantis continues to capture the imagination of people around the world. It has inspired countless works of literature, art, and popular culture, and remains one of the great mysteries of human history. Over the centuries, many people have attempted to locate the lost city of Atlantis, but with little success. Some believe that the city may have been destroyed in a cataclysmic event, while others think that it may have been gradually eroded and submerged by rising sea levels. One of the most intriguing pieces of evidence for the existence of Atlantis comes from a set of ancient maps known as the Piri Reis map. Created by the Turkish cartographer Piri Reis in the early 16th century, the map shows the coastlines of South America, Africa, and Europe in remarkable detail. It also includes what appears to be a detailed map of the Atlantic Ocean, including the location of an island that bears a striking resemblance to Plato's Atlantis. Despite this tantalizing evidence, most scholars believe that the Piri Reis map is simply a product of its time, and that the island shown on it is likely a fantasy or a misinterpretation of some other geographical feature. Other theories about Atlantis have suggested that it was located in the Mediterranean Sea, near the island of Santorini, or in the Bahamas. Some have even proposed that the lost city may have been located in Antarctica, or on the other side of the world in places like Indonesia or Japan. Despite the lack of concrete evidence, the legend of Atlantis has captured the imaginations of people for centuries. Many have speculated about what life would have been like on this fabled island, and what might have caused its ultimate downfall. Some have suggested that the people of Atlantis may have possessed advanced technology or mystical powers, while others believe that their civilization was a warning about the dangers of greed, arrogance, and excess. In the 19th and early 20th centuries, many people were convinced that Atlantis was a real place, and that it could be found by exploring the depths of the ocean. This led to a number of expeditions and investigations, including the famous search conducted by the American psychic Edgar Cayce in the 1930s. Cayce claimed that Atlantis had been located in the Bahamas, and that its destruction had been caused by a series of cataclysmic events, including earthquakes and floods. He believed that the survivors of the disaster had fled to other parts of the world, and that their descendants could still be found in places like Egypt, Peru, and North America. Despite the lack of concrete evidence, Cayce's theories gained a significant following, and many people continued to search for the lost city of Atlantis well into the 20th century. In recent years, advances in technology have made it possible to explore the ocean floor in greater detail than ever before. Using techniques like sonar and deep-sea diving, researchers have discovered a wealth of new information about the world beneath the waves. While these discoveries have shed new light on many aspects of marine science, they have not yet yielded any definitive proof of the existence of Atlantis. However, some researchers believe that the search for the lost city may have inspired important scientific breakthroughs, and that it could continue to provide valuable insights into the mysteries of the ocean and the ancient world. As we continue to explore and study our world, it is possible that new evidence may come to light that sheds more light on the mystery of Atlantis. In the meantime, we can learn much from the story of this legendary civilization. The tale of Atlantis is often seen as a cautionary tale, warning us of the dangers of arrogance and hubris. According to Plato's account, the people of Atlantis became increasingly proud and self-absorbed, ultimately leading to their downfall. This serves as a reminder that even the most advanced and sophisticated societies are vulnerable to the forces of nature, and that it is important to approach the world with humility and respect. The story of Atlantis has also inspired many people to pursue knowledge and exploration, in the hope of uncovering new insights and discoveries about our world. While the search for the lost city may never be fully resolved, the journey of discovery can teach us much about ourselves and our place in the universe. In the end, whether Atlantis was a real place or simply a myth, its legacy continues to captivate our imagination and inspire us to explore the mysteries of our world. By continuing to study and learn about our history and the natural world around us, we can gain a deeper appreciation for the wonders of our world and the many mysteries that remain to be uncovered.